Today we're working with two balls. I have one in my hand, she has one in her mouth. Throughout the day, I'll be signaling her I'm ready, but then waiting for her to give up the ball before we start. I don't even signal her and she gives it up, which is a great start for this session. Okay, right off the bat, I start really sloppily by asking her to do a 180 over a practice jump I've set up to mark the start line, which she knocks. Then I have to stop her, reset the bar. She understands, but you still hear she barks in frustration, so not a good start. I use a heavily conditioned light hand touch to start. She knows a reward is coming in the form of a ball, a treat, or to run the chorus, which is also rewarding for her. I've spent a lot of time differentiating rewards, so I tell her ball, since this was a clean run, and give it to her twice. She's keeping the ball in her mouth, so I just do an easy peasy send to the tunnel to set her up again, hoping that she'll be willing to give it up when we get there. Okay, this is where you can fast forward for 30 seconds, though it seems like eons to me, which is why it was so stressful on start lines in a trial situation, because it seems so long that I'm waiting for her to settle and tell me it's okay that she wants to work. In a trial, she can't run around with a ball in her mouth, go through tunnels to calm down. Her increasingly frenetic barking on start lines made trialing no fun and ultimately led to lots of problems, and we stopped trialing. So now I have lots of remedial work to do, which is like developing a lot of patience so that she feels comfortable starting to work always. Almost a minute from the time I ask her to line up to when she drops the ball this time. I remove the practice jump to make the start line less stressful, and then ask her to line up again.
Here, jump, jump.
I really have to watch patterning with Quitte, especially if I make an error on the change in the sequence, as I do here. She does know this move, but I'm late telling her, so you can hear her barking because she expected quite rightfully what had come before and what I told her to do. She keeps working and does listen to me this time, but I'm put in the position of having a rewarded drop bar because she executed the sequence correctly. This is exactly the type of error I need to avoid with her. She's willing to give up the ball very quickly this time, so I reward that a couple of times before I start again. Good example of upping her frustration level by being way late on her front cross, getting in her path, causing the bar down, not stopping on time, get lots of barking that I just have to then work through. Well, analyzing this is becoming a little depressing. Here she's ready to go again, and I make another error, send her off course, she hits the bar, And then, because of the trigger stacking that's been happening because of my poor handling, all I can do is behaviors that are easy for her, help her calm down a little bit. Should she be a little more resilient? Sure. But she has a long history of me not handling her well. And part of it's her personality, her breeding, but most of it is this long history of not handling her frustration well.
No. Jump. Yeah.
After 10 years of doing this, should I know not to put my hand in my pocket when she's over the bar? Yes. I have to reward this.
Here. Yes. Good girl. Ball.
Oh, and hey, how about remembering to reset the bar so there's an opportunity to reward and I don't cause another bar down because I've noticed that the bar was down. Things like that.
Jump. Yeah. Good girl. Ball.
Okay, I would say this was our first successful sequence of the day, and she gets a nice reward. And not surprisingly, she sets up much more quickly for the next sequence, which just goes to show happy makes happy. Okay, this is something I really need to fix. Instead of moving on, I'm just watching to see if she keeps the bar up. So, of course, she doesn't. Okay, the good news is that she's still happy enough that she's not bothered by not getting a reward, which is good. I still have both balls as she didn't get rewarded last time, so I just go ahead and start her. And we have a nice run, and she gets a good reward. Funny how this rewarding thing puts everyone in a good mood, and everybody does better then. I think I've heard that somewhere.
Yeah, ball.
think I helped cause this bar drop because I talked to her over the bar, which, yeah, we need to fix that, but for right now, I'll give her a little credit for being distracted by my voice. Although it's off camera here, I am pretty consistent about always asking for the light hand touch behavior if there's a drop bar so that she is getting rewarded for something. Wow, narrating this in iMovie is really hard. I wish I could figure out Coach's eye, but I'm afraid it's an IQ test that I just cannot pass. So I'm not sure I'm going to do too much more narrating. Just stick in the last 4 minutes of our session, mostly just the sequences.